Hey everybody, and happy Monday. You know what that means. Go grab your favorite cup of hot cocoa, a few of your favorite cookies, pull up a chair, and sit and chat with me a while in today's episode of Cocoa and Cookies. I hope all of you are having a great start to your Monday, and I know so many of you hate Mondays. Whenever I turn on my social media on Mondays, that's all I see are people complaining about Mondays. So hopefully Cocoa and Cookies might be a little bit of a bright spot in an otherwise dreaded day. Maybe it's something that you can look forward to on Mondays. I went to the cabinet this morning to try to pull out a mug for my hot cocoa and thought to myself, I really need some new mugs. Mostly all the ones that I have are Christmas in there, so I need to be on the hunt for that. I did go into a Dollar Tree yesterday, shocker, I know, and while I was in there, I saw some new mugs that were sitting out on a display that I think were for Mother's Day, but I was in a rush. I was going in for one thing only, and I kept getting veered away by all the cute little things that I was seeing, and my son was pushing me and said, no mom, stay focused. So I did see a display, just don't know what all was on it, but it did look like possibly some new mugs out there. But I wanted to show you the one that I actually pulled out, and I'll try to zoom that camera in so you can see. On one side it says, buy the shoes and eat the cookie. And this was actually a book that was written by Joyce Meyer. I have not read the book yet, but a good friend of mine, when the book came out and then she saw the mug, she had to get me the mug because of the shoes, pretty much, because y'all know how much I love my shoes. But anyway, the bottom of the cup says, do something that you like and enjoy it, and don't feel guilty about it. So I want to read the book. I want to get my hands on a copy of that book and read the book, because I agree. You know, so many times I think even just women, maybe in general, have a little bit harder of a time than guys do, and probably even more once you become a mom. It's like sometimes to do the things that you enjoy, things that make you happy, you can really kind of feel guilty about it. And obviously, you have to have a healthy balance. You can't get so self-consumed that you begin doing so many things you like that you neglect other people or other things that need to be done. But yet on the flip side of that, you also do have to do some of the things that you enjoy without feeling guilty. I don't even know where that started, why it started, or how it did, but I come across a lot of ladies, and myself included, that to do something nice for yourself, or maybe to pick up a new pair of earrings once in a while, or just any kind of thing that you do for yourself can absolutely make you feel guilty. And I'm not sure why that is, but I would like to read the book, because I'm going to assume that by the little subtitle on this cup, that's probably what the book talks about. I just love her anyway, and I love her ministry, and I love what she teaches. She teaches people how to really just enjoy every single day that they're given. And that is so important. If you think about it, the other day we were out and about. We took you guys with us shopping. If you didn't see that vlog, you can go and take a look at that. I think it's called A Day in the Life, hitting up Gainesville, or something about Gainesville. And we had a really good time. But one of the things that you notice when you're out is how angry people seem to be. Everywhere you go, store clerks nowadays are so angry and so rude. We took our son up last week to get his driver's license. He transitioned from his learner's permit to his full-blown driver's license, where now he can go by himself. We walk in the door, and my husband met us there. All of you know that he is a deputy. He works for the sheriff's department. He's the captain of road patrol here in our West District, and people out here know him. They know him as the commander of the West District. He is the top dog in this section of our county, so to speak, And people out here know him. They're very familiar with him, and they know him at the driver's license office because just different dealings that they've had to have with the sheriff's department. Well, he met us there, and he was even in full uniform. He doesn't have to wear a uniform every day because of his position as administrator, but once in a while he will wear his uniform, and this particular day he did happen to have his uniform on. So we walk into the office where some of the people are already very familiar with him anyway. Then he had the uniform on, and so even if the people there didn't know who he was, they obviously knew he was at least law enforcement, which at one time or another, that at least garnered some respect there. But the lady who went to wait on us was the most rude person that I have encountered in a long time. And it really took me back because I thought, wow, not only would she have been rude to me and regular plainclothes, just Joe Blow citizen, she was even rude to him. And, you know, it really took both of us back. You know, we both were looking at each other like, can you even believe this? So obviously people are having issues in their lives, and they're displayed everywhere. You can't even go. The one place that I think around here that people are probably some of the friendliest to us, in all honesty, is at the Dollar Tree, and also up here at our local CVS. And I don't know if it's because we go to CVS so much, or at least we did there for a while. We kind of backed off on our couponing a little bit, but we're about to hit that full swing again for you guys. So I don't know if it's just because we had been in there so much and maybe the people know us, but I don't really think that's it, because they've got a couple new clerks in there that I've never seen before, and still they are somewhat friendly. So either they have a really good manager who stresses customer service or they just happen to be friendly people. I don't know, but anywhere you go, it just seems that people are so full of unhappiness, you know, anger and whatever, maybe a little bit of guilt. So whenever I read that this morning, I thought, I'm going to pull this mug out and I'm going to use this mug and kind of chat about that a little bit, because people need permission to be happy. And I know life is full of stress. You know, I told you guys last week in Cocoa and Cookies some of the stress that we had gone through last weekend, and there are a lot of things that happen. You know the story of what we've been through with our house the last 3 years. You guys know the financial burden that we're up under and what we're looking at there. You guys have walked with me through some issues with my teeth over the last few months. There are a lot of things that go on in life that are not optimal circumstances, but to me, that is never an excuse to be rude. It's never an excuse to just be hateful and ugly. And sadly, we are just living in a time like no other where it's really hard to find people that are actually enjoying their life for one reason or another, whether it's guilt that they're laden with, or they just hate the circumstances they find themselves in. I know that more and more and more we are seeing teenage pregnancy that's kind of taken an explosion over the last several years, and a lot of those girls are not taught how to deal with that. And so now here they find themselves as young as 12 and 13 now, that are pregnant with babies. They haven't even grown up themselves. They don't want the child. They weren't expecting a pregnancy. And then they raise those children out of that frustration instead of learning to love the child and give that child what it needs. And so now we are seeing a whole generation of younger adolescents. And of course, in our ministry and what we do, we see it a lot. And we're seeing that whole generation of young people who've been raised under that circumstance, and they're just angry. They're angry at life. They're angry at circumstances. A lot of them are angry at God because they feel like somehow it's God's fault, and why did God allow it to happen? And it's really an epidemic, and it's something that we all need to help each other work through, and to help each other learn to see life through more positive eyes and just embrace and love every moment. Even in the bad. You know, I'm reminded of the verse of scripture where the Bible says, in everything give thanks. And sometimes we like to quote that scripture at Thanksgiving, but then we forget it the rest of the year. It doesn't mean to give thanks for everything, but it does mean that in everything you can still be thankful. You can be thankful for your life. You can be thankful for the breath that you are allowed to breathe. You can be thankful for the family that you do have around you that loves you. And if you've been neglected by all of your family, certainly you have at least one friend that you can be thankful for. And even if not, even if it's just you and you feel all alone in this world, you can be thankful that God has given you life and that He's given you influence, and that now you can be to someone else what you were hoping someone would be to you, if that makes sense. So there's definitely so many things in life to be thankful for and grateful for. And I think we need to start a grateful revolution, a thankful revolution. Forget the love revolution. Let's be thankful and grateful. Because I think a lot of times you can even love people and show the love in those kind of ways without being pleasant and kind, and you absolutely can. So I think that it's time we start a kindness revolution. I don't know, we need to come up with a name for it, and do good deeds with a grateful heart every single day, and watch how it might change the world around us. It's very tempting in situations like that, when we walked into the driver's license office and we were treated the way we were, I've got to tell you, I was livid. I had not had breakfast, which is always dangerous to do. So you guys get up and eat. Get your blood sugar leveled off before you step out the door. Maybe that could be a lot of people's problems right there. But anyway, we had gotten up early. We set the appointment early because we didn't want a lot of traffic on the road for him, to kind of help ease his nerves a little bit. And we step out. I hadn't eaten, so I was already in a position to where it could have been potentially bad. And so when we stepped in there, it just crawled all over me the wrong way. And it was taking everything in me to keep my mouth shut. So I just let my husband deal with her, because I knew, okay, you know, we got to be kind and polite here, and we got to try to handle this situation the best possible. So the best possible thing for me to do is just shut up and let him deal with it, which he did, and he handled it nicely. But usually, if I have had, you know, something to eat and I'm able to process what's happening around me with a clear and level head, I will try to either tell some kind of little joke. You know, I've said to people, I went into Subway one day to get a salad. So rude. The person was so rude. And so I said, oh, have you had a bad day in here? And she kind of softened a little bit. And the more that I got her talking, by the time she was finished waiting on me, her attitude had changed. And so often we want to respond, or actually react. We become reactive, and we react to people like that in the same negativity they're putting off. But if we'll slow down and take a breath and respond with some positivity, we really can change what's happening. I've seen it happen many times with personal experience. So I guess that's just what I'll leave you guys with today, is to become more happy, to enjoy a life without the guilt. Go buy the shoes, eat the cookie, do something nice for yourself, do something nice for somebody else. And when you're out there and you're around people that you can tell obviously are having a hard time, you know, maybe that grocery store clerk that's giving you a hard time is a single mom who's working 2 jobs just to make ends meet. Because we all know that in today's culture, and with some of the younger people getting pregnant younger and younger, there's been such a push for cohabitation where couples are living together without the commitment of marriage. All of those factors have brought us to a place to where women are finding themselves with child, and the men are taking off. They don't want the responsibility. They've become lazy in that in a lot of cases. And so you never know if that rude waitress may be snapping at you because she is a single mom working 2 jobs, worried about her child who's homesick with a fever with an older brother or sister because she can't afford childcare. There are so many things that happen in people's lives, and if we will stop and just be gracious, eat our breakfast, do what it takes to keep our own minds settled on happy, positive thoughts, then we really can make a difference in somebody's world. So that's my challenge to you guys this week, is to, a lot of you guys are already very kind because I watch your channels and I read your comments, not only on my channel, but on other channels, and you're positive and you are encouragers. And there really is a great, great community out here that you're already practicing these things. But I don't know, maybe you need to share this video on your Facebook wall or wherever you can share it and get the message out that we need to start a kindness revolution, and let's change our environment just by changing the way that we respond when people are not so kind to us. So I will leave you there today with this cocoa and cookies. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Monday. I hope you have a fantastic week. Be watching out for this weekend because the kids are headed off to their Fine Arts Festival, and I will be vlogging as much of that for you guys as I can. Hopefully, I'll be able to get the vlogs up in the evenings for you guys so you can see it kind of real time. If not, nonetheless, they'll be up at the first of next week so you can see the weekend and see how they did in their competitions. We're excited about that. And I hope that all of you have a great week. Thank you for sitting with me and chatting a while. I will see you in the next video.